I'm going to go ahead and call tonight's meeting to order. It is the 24th of March, 2021 in Middleton, Westport Joint Zoning Committee. Mark, would you do a roll call for us?
Sure. Randy Bruce, not present. Dean Groskov.
Here.
Cynthia Kennedy.
Here.
Jen Murray.
Present.
Kurt Paulson.
Here.
And the incomparable Ken Sipsma.
Why, thank you so much, and I am present. The next item on our agenda tonight, our first actual after a roll call, is to approve or to consider approval of the minutes of our last meeting. That was in January, so here we are in March. We can take some action on those if anyone would like to do so.
I will make a motion to approve the minutes of January 27th.
I'll second that motion.
A motion and a second to approve the minutes. If anyone needs any clarification on who's doing that, let me know. Who's ever taking our minutes, probably Mark. Or anyway, we have a motion and a second to approve the minutes. Any discussion on those minutes, additions, corrections? If not, say aye or raise your hand, whichever you like. Say aye.
Aye.
To approve, aye. Nays, and the motion passes. The minutes are approved. Two agenda items tonight. First one is 4914 Wakanda Drive recommendation regarding revised zoning variance application. And as usual, I'll just turn to staff. Tom probably is our staff to weigh in on this, but Mark as well. So
I can go ahead. Mark can fill in any blanks or huge blanks that I leave. So you had this at your last month meeting. There was a variance for Ken Lambrecht for garage. And you made a recommendation and to approve that. It went to the town board. The town board made a recommendation to approve that. It went to the zoning board of appeals, and it was recommended. What we had looked at in our documents was actually different than what was noticed. The variance that was actually noticed did not include a foundation wall that went to the edge of the roof, the overhang. The zoning board of appeals in Middleton said, well, you know, we got what we got, and we'd probably give the rest to you, but we really can't. You're going to have to go back, and you're going to have to, you know, we have to have a hearing on that. You have to publish it, even though you can't really see it. I mean, you can see the edges of it, but to extend that, that's not what was in the notes. So even though it was in plans that were looked at by the town plan commission, this body, and the town board, it was something that was added after the notice was actually put out there. So our plan commission looked at this at their last meeting. This variance is simply to extend that foundation to match up with the roof line, and they found that was fine since they had looked at it before, basically. And so what I did was took what our plan commission recommended and put it into a draft resolution. And that draft resolution also includes the findings last time from the zoning board of appeals. So, and I also try to explain, you know, this is something that's just, it's like an amendment, but it's not, because with a matter like this, you got to start over on your hearing. So that's why you're here. And, you know, of course, town staff is going to recommend approval because our plan commission looked at it and said, this looks fine. And this was actually kind of the procedure that was recommended to Mr. Lambrecht also by the Middleton Zoning Board of Appeals. So what we're looking for from this body is a recommendation to the town board and the zoning board of appeals to approve this variance, and I would say pursuant to the terms of the draft resolution that you have in front of you. So with that, I don't know, Ken, if you need to add anything, or Mark, whatever I missed.
I want to clarify, because I would have said that a little bit differently from how Tom said it. what we did in the hearing notice, and does everyone see that in front of you now? Or, I mean, these are the minutes of the zoning board of appeals. I can't remember if I put them in the packet. Do you have those? Do you see those?
We see them.
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
yep.
The hearing notice, let me see if I can blow this up a little bit. Let's see, this is in words, so that's a little.
Down on the lower right-hand side, Mark.
Thank you. I'm just, when you go between PDFs and. So what I had, thanks, Kurt. So what I had specifically said in the notice, which is the format I always use, is the frontage structure would be located at that location, including a 36-foot roof overhang. So it was, usually we distinguish between where the roof overhang is and where the foundation is. And originally the plan was not to bring the foundation forward, to be under the roof overhang in the front. And I can see why there was some different opinions on how to proceed with this, but ultimately I felt, because of the topography on the property, because some of the foundation was going to be exposed and visible, I felt it was safest to, and because there had been this, the applicant had wanted to extend the foundation forward towards the street, I felt it was best to go through a second zoning variance procedure.
Yep, and everyone agreed.
Yep.
So that's why you're here.
And if this comes before us every time, then it would be Wakanda forever. Sorry. Had to slip that in there. Had to slip that in, sorry.
Okay,
Well, anyway, thanks, Mark, for filling that in.
yep, thank you. And Dean, anything out of, Cindy, anything out of the plan commission?
No, initially, I think everybody thought, why are we coming back and dealing with some kind of a change once it's approved? But I think that the request is reasonable, and there was some genuine misunderstanding between what Middleton was looking at, what we were looking at as the plan commission. So I believe it's appropriate to approve it and recommend approval anyway to Middleton and to the Middleton Zoning Board of Appeals.
I don't have any questions on it. Anybody else have any comments on this? Or we can certainly take some action and have some further discussion if we like.
I would make a motion then to recommend to the Middleton Zoning Board of Appeals and the Town Board approval of the variances subject to the conditions in the town resolution.
All right.
I will second that motion.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Paulson and Mr. Grosskopf. We have the motion now, and any further discussion on that?
Is there a number to the resolution yet, or only when it's adopted?
No, this is just, will be recommended now to the town board to use.
Okay.
And they'll put a number in it
All
if
right,
they approve it.
maybe we will, maybe we won't.
That's right.
Anyway, I'm assuming we will. Under the circumstances as we sit here tonight, it would seem that we would. Anyway, hearing no further discussion on that, unless there is, all in favor say aye. Raise your hand if you like.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. There are no nays. The motion passes unanimously to approve and to recommend the resolution that we have in front of us. All right. Next item on our agenda tonight is the 4916 Borchers Beach Road, which is a recommendation regarding the zoning variance application. Tom, you want to tell us about this?
I can start, we'll do the same thing. I can start and then Mark can fill in where I screw up. And Mr. Levy is also on the line too, and he may have some things to say. This has come before the town plan commission for a consult and also here, and I think the maps are very helpful. This is where Borchers Beach Road and Simon Trails, they kind of split. And the home is actually a home for the Soapers. They had a home there a long time. And you can see where the home was located on this document. And the concern has been that the home where it's built is because of when the home was built and how the roads was laid out, it doesn't mean any of the setback. Mr. Levy would like to build the home in a location, build a home, replace the home in a very similar location. And the reason for that is because there's some trees, as you can see on this plan, on the, I guess that's the northern side of the property, and then there's a house there. It would also fit better with that neighborhood because that Soper house has been there for, I don't know how long time, as long as anybody can remember, and longer. So I don't know, Mark, if you want to show exactly that plot plan that shows where he would be talking, might be up a little bit, but I'm not sure. At any rate,
Must be a shortcut for rotating. I'm gonna consult my IT guy, Kurt Paulson. Is there, I don't see a shortcut up here.
yeah, I think you gotta go, I think you're going,
You say up, it's actually down.
I meant, yeah, I think I'm sorry, there we go. So these are some of the maps that show where, there's the map showing where the existing home is, it's covered up, and you can see the other home, and you can see the bigger trees that are being circled. So if you continue down, if Mr. Levy built the home where it needed to be built, with the setbacks and where things need to be located, you would see a home here compared to where the existing home is. And if you keep going down, this is somewhere where you'd like to use that part of that footprint and expand it, of course, because he'd like to build a bigger home. So at any rate, our plan commission, and you can keep showing things, Mark, but our plan commission looked at this because Mr. Levy, if anybody looked at the documents he provided, he gave some great documents to show exactly where things need to be located and how to protect those trees. So our plan commission looked at this and said, it seems to make sense, certainly for the neighborhood and based on the lot and the past experience. And it's a kind of a crazy shaped lot, especially with roads that have been expanded since they put in. They recommended approval with a couple conditions, and that was simply build it where it's located right here, and do what you can to try and save the trees that are proposed there. And you can see how that fits in so nicely. That Mr. Levy gave us some very nice illustrations and pictures, and it looks nice. He also had approval from, I think, everybody that lives in that area basically said, yeah, that looks good. And we had letters from them. So one thing that did come up is this is a 20-foot setback from the road right away. There's some question about what exactly the zoning classification is here, but I don't think it really matters. Mark can fill that in if you need to. But at any rate, variance is needed for the setback from the roadways. He's applied for it. He showed our plan commission and certainly staff why that variance will help in this neighborhood, and because of the shape of the lot and the way the roads were laid out after the home existed, that he certainly met a hardship to build it in the right place, and that way we get trees protected and a neighborhood not up in arms. So we would, at least from my perspective, I'd certainly hope that the joint zoning committee would do the same thing that they did with Mr. Lamdrecht, which is recommend approval to the town board and to the zoning board of appeals, subject to the conditions and the Westport draft resolution that you have in front of you.
And
Mark?
I will simply elaborate on the very fine presentation by stating that the reason why I modified this was because upon further investigation, realizing this was zoned county R2 and conferring with the county zoning administrator, Hans Hilbert, realized that with the street frontage on 3 sides, that actually is a 20-foot setback, which was different than what Mr. Levy provided with his materials. So I just, rather than asking him to resubmit, I just used red to show what the setbacks actually are. A variance is still necessary. It's just not as significant of a variance, if you will.
That's even better.
Better, yeah.
And then
Go ahead.
that's That's all we got, Ken, I think, for you.
I think when we gave Mr. Lambert his initial variance, and I'm sure it's in the second one too, we limited the variances to the structure itself.
Yeah, and that's automatically done with the way the city ordinance is written out. But one of the conditions here was that he build the home in the locations he shows here. You know, your variance is given for that specific structure, and then that's how it works.
Okay, yeah, that was my only question.
Yeah, and I think from our perspective, it certainly meets the definition of a hardship when you look at the odd shape of the lot, given given where the street was built.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Anything out of our planning commission? Did our planning commission look at it? I forgot. Maybe I
Yeah,
wasn't
they
listening in
did.
time.
Cindy lives pretty close, so she was concerned about, you know, speaking to it or taking an action on it. And she knows Mr. Levy pretty well too. And then Dean, I think that, I don't know that anybody had any issues, just a couple questions, and then it seemed to make sense.
Correct. I think that's a good interpretation. I think we looked at everything, but we thought it made sense and seems fair to everybody concerned as presented. So I don't have a problem with it.
From an administrative perspective, and this is not why you give a variance, but if he were to build this home where the setbacks are all perfect and he started taking down some of the trees in that neighborhood, the first call I would probably get would be Cindy Kennedy. Just saying. So I think the request that he's making here, and appreciate the time and effort it takes to put together something like this, because could have still built the home on the lot, just wouldn't have made a lot of sense, frankly, to do it within the way the setbacks are. So appreciate Steve Levy taking the time to put this together too.
Thank you.
I think the result is going to be great. It's going to be fine.
It's a nice looking home, so.
Yeah.
Anybody else have any questions for staff? Mr. Levy's here. Did you have anything to say, Mr. Levy?
No, I don't. Tom did a really nice job. Thank you, Tom, for doing that. And, I appreciate the consideration, and I'm very sensitive to the trees, and I'm not taking them down. So that should be noted,
Great,
no matter
thank
what.
you.
So.
Thank you. Anybody else? If not, we can take some action on this one then.
I'll make the same motion that we recommend approval to the Middleton zoning board and to the town with the attached resolution.
But was Mr. Paulson, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Oh, we'll give John Murray that second. That was a competing second, so we'll give it to. And so we do have a motion and a second to approve. Any further discussion on it? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed say nay. That motion is approved.
And I simply was going to say, I'm showing Kennedy as abstaining that per her request.
Correct.
Okay, all right, okay, all right. Oh, I would just say this, with my big mouth here, Cindy, is that you can vote on this. I mean, your vote. I mean, I'm not telling you you've already abstained, but I would say this to anyone, and it's like, if you're voting on it on the merits, it really doesn't matter whether you know the person or not. So, I mean, it's great, it's fine to abstain, but I feel that way myself, and sometimes you have to vote against people, sometimes you want you would want to abstain when you're going to vote against something that is going to upset someone, but you shouldn't. You should vote.
Well, more
Anyway,
Both of
sorry.
tonight's actions are my neighborhood, so.
Yeah, I understand.
there's
It's
four
not
votes.
any criticism or anything. It's just, like, anyway, I can just keep my mouth shut. Okay, all right. Well, that being, I'm shutting my mouth on that now, and our last motion would be to adjourn tonight. We have a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. We are adjourned tonight. Thank you all.
Nicely
and,
done, everybody.
Our business was very, very well done tonight. And thank you all.
Thank you very much.
Good night,
Thank
everybody.
Have a good
Thanks,
rest
Doug.
of the evening.